I'm Ron Niekamp. Like Paul and I we have no title like the priests. We're just average Joe Blows. In fact, my wife's going to kill me for just telling you this. I was out in the barn before I came working on a skid loader, and I better get in and get ready. You got to give a speech, so I get in the house, get all cleaned up. And she had gone to Kohl's probably because there was a sale. I don't know every question. And I get showered and dressed up, and she says, "You got this pants on and that shirt." Oh boy, I didn't. So I got a different, and there was a red shirt, a little lighter. I hope I get the right one. And I shaved twice because she's always on me. So anyhow, when she got home, I had the right stuff on, and here we are. Like I said, we're just average Joe Blows trying to help people. And like he started out to say, Father Carl, he was, to me, he was like a CEO of a big, kind of like Donald Trump, a little bit. Well, okay, whatever you want to say. But anyhow, he knew Father Buth. They was both about the same age and went, I don't know how he knew him, but, through the seminary. And when we went down there, well, Paul went first because he couldn't believe it cost that much. And then in Korea, he helped drill a well when he was in the service. And then you got to be able to do it. But because of bureaucracy, and they don't have the equipment we do, it did cost that much. So we did, after we drilled a well, they kept having projects. But Father Carl, which, if anybody wants a twin, his big thing was every month, Father Buth had to send us a letter telling what they did with our money. Not our money, it's the people's money. And that's a big thing. You got to get feedback. Otherwise, it'll die. It'll just die. You got to get, and Carl, sometimes he got mad at Father Buth because you got to get, but as Father Buth got old and Father Carl, that kind of went away and we kind of kept going. And Father Buth, it's amazing what he done. And over the years, the priests we've had, if you started in your parish or you got to have the right priest. I mean, they've got to, when you're working in behind the scenes, they should show up and give you an attaboy because that's only, and we've had, and Father Rick is here. He helped. Father Jim DeGaulle. I don't know if he's here or not, but he's got a bad knee, I know, but he was he was the greatest communicator. I mean, Father DeGaulle, they paid him to go to like Maria's Town and give talks, and we had him for nothing, how lucky were we? But he could go on the pulpit like when we had our breakfasts. And he'd sit there and talk to you, and all of a sudden, if you wasn't hungry, he'd make you hungry. So, and it wasn't. But we had people. Not all of our parishioners would come to our breakfasts. All over the counties, it's mostly mission-minded people would come to our breakfasts. And over the years, it wasn't that we had. Besides that, we got candy dry. We made candy, and I don't know. We had our barn dances lasted for 10 years. We actually had square dancing. We had petting zoos in there. We had all kinds of stuff. It was Father Angelo and Brother Nick. They would be square dancing. It was fun. So it was fun too. And over the years, I guess I don't want to get real long here, but the biggest thing is, just the average Joe Blow like Paul and I, and it's really our wives, and it's just like in the third world countries when we went, the women do all the work, and it's our wives, Janet and Pat Dwinger. Where you at? Hold your hands up or something. But they do the cooking and the figuring and getting the stuff, and when they have the candy sales. And it seems like whenever we have a breakfast, we have it for over almost 25 years, we've never ran out of food. They just know how to put a little bit more in, make it work. But I mean, it's the women. But Paul and I would go, and Paul's like a workhorse. He don't give up. But and another thing, when I'm thinking, when we die and go to heaven, hopefully, and there's a lot of people in the third world that die of starvation, they die of diseases that could have been preventable. And if we're up there, they're going to say, "Why didn't you help me? Why, well, I'm out my boat. We're out golfing. Why didn't you help me when I was on Earth?" I mean, because we're all going to be together. I mean, when we was in Guatemala, I went to the dedication, and Paul's been there 3 times, and their culture is, we went with a native priest, and he took us to all these little churches down through the jungle. And I never forget, one time we went down a hill, and Pat slid down the hill, remember? Anyhow, we went to this one church. We went to Mass. And when the old ladies would come up for communion, they would actually prostrate themselves on the ground, hold their hands up, and take communion. Now, they don't have money, but their clothes were clean, and they had God. I mean, that the Eucharist meant so much to them. That's all they had to hold on to. I mean, and it taught us, by what we're doing, we've been taught so much. And now, with a lot of the parishes, and our parish, our small parish, we've got our own priest. Wouldn't you think? We got a mission priest. And now we're learning about the culture of Africa. And Father Alphonse is our pastor, which he's coming back from Africa right now. Luckily, he's making it back. He had trouble, but he's coming. My wife's the sacristan.
I hate to cut you short, but but we do have to keep going. But I think both Ron and Paul make a good point about what small little things can do to improve the lives of people in the missions. But even more importantly, improve the life of, not more importantly, but also improve the life of the people in Montezuma as well. So thank you.
Can I just say one more thing?
One more thing.
One more thing. Everybody said when we started that, we was given all that money in the beginning, your collections are going to go way down. It was just the opposite. So the priest here or whoever, our collections went up, our regular collections. So it didn't affect, I don't know, God just rewarded us just big time. So
great, thank you.